It's so bad. What I've been doing a lot of lately is just Netflix. It's so bad. But I love that. That for me is a treat.
Is that a
if I want
hobby?
to sit down, it is. If I want to sit down and watch
He
something.
actually sat back.
Welcome to episode 2 of Behind the Success. Today, we are sitting down with one of Manchester's finest. With such a soulful sound, he has taken the UK urban scene by storm.
I tell you what went wrong. I spent my days planning the future when I couldn't see in front of me. I tell you what went wrong. I had a great imagination, but I couldn't grasp reality.
Currently on a sold-out tour and now signed to Island Records, he is destined for bigger and better things. We managed to catch up with him at one of his gigs during the Christmas period.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am back again for Behind the Success, and today I'm with the amazingly talented JP Cooper.
Hello.
Hi. How
Alright?
are you?
I'm good.
So I've kind of caught him off guard today because he doesn't expect this, but this episode is all about JP. So for those who don't know, who are you and what do you do?
So I'm JP Cooper and I'm a singer-songwriter from Manchester. Even though I seem to be spending a lot of time in London.
Yes.
And I don't really know exactly what I would say, what style it is. I play the acoustic guitar and I sing and I try and write songs that reach people on just a very everyday, personal level. So that's me in a nutshell.
Okay, so give us a little background history, where you started, how you ended up in London, and you said you've spent a lot of time here.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, all right. Background history. I'll try and keep it sweet.
No, you can take your time. Take your
So
time. It's about you.
I sort of fell in love with music when I was about 16, and I really fell in love with a scene called the grunge scene. It's like a lot of the Seattle bands and things like that. I used to be quite into rock music when I was younger. And I always had a love of soul music, but it seemed that a lot of my friends who first came through and bought guitars and things like that, they were into the rock bands. Coming from Manchester in that town, there's kind of Oasis were coming through and all. So everybody in Manchester had a guitar at that point, but it wasn't a lot of my friends. There was no one who really listened to soul music. Right. So although I enjoyed that, I didn't really get a chance to explore that. And we used to just play in little bands and things like that in school, and obviously that grew and grew and grew. And I spent years traveling the country in the back of a transit van, making absolutely no money and having a whale of a time.
Back of a transit.
Yeah, I mean, we just hire a transit van and we'd go off for a month and play everywhere in the UK, and there was 4 of us. And it was great. It was really good. It was almost it was like being a student but without the studies.
The books.
Yeah, it was
without the reading.
So that was good. And then obviously I wanted to explore soul music a lot more, so I tried to find a gospel choir to join for ages because I loved the vocal arrangements, I loved the harmonies, and I wanted to be able to get involved in something like that, but without having to be tied down to well, you have to be here at this time. So I started singing in a community gospel choir that called the Sing Out Choir, and I began to explore a little bit more of that world. I mean, obviously at that point I was listening to I was always listening to things like obviously Donny Hathaway and Al Green and Otis Redding, Marvin Gaye, and obviously more modern stuff like Lauryn Hill and Jill Scott. But it was I felt like I had to hold it back because I was singing in a rock band, so you just can't do that. So when I finished doing the rock thing, I started working on my own, which was only 4 or 5 years ago, and very, very, very sort of beginners kind of, because I never played guitar before.
Right.
So I had this awful...
So you self-taught with your guitar?
Yeah.
I love people like that.
I'm not very studious, so I kind of had to just feel my way through it, yeah. But I was when I first began, I was terrible. I couldn't play.
You have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
It can't be amazing at the beginning.
So a lot of my songs were very simple, and I've tried to keep that element there.
I've seen your growth, and I've seen kind of where you kind of started, and kind of seeing where you're coming to now. I feel like a proud mum, even though obviously I'm not his mum, but
no, it's nice.
I really appreciate the work and effort that you've put in to things, and that kind of helped me, and I'm sure it will help other people to kind of push to kind of succeed. And that kind of leads me to my next question, which is, how do you measure success? It's a deep one.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, for me, it really isn't a case of, for me, success in a way, if I would be the way that I would see it, would be up until now, like the people that are drawn to what I do musically.
Yeah.
If we're focusing just on music, and then otherwise we're getting into a whole lot of philosophy. And if I was just to focus on the music, it would be, it can be summed up by the people who come to your gigs, I think.
Fair enough.
And whether or not it's hundreds or thousands, or it's just the quality of people, and for me, it's knowing that what I'm doing is reaching people in the right way.
Yeah. Knowing that they appreciate
your
music.
And if I can get a good meal and a roof over my head,
you like your food, don't you? Because you missed out. I can tell you missed out on your good meals back in the day. So
that's it for me. I've obviously.
So basically, what he's saying
ambition,
is,
but
bring him food, and he'll love you forever.
I sing for
Can I
my
say
supper,
that?
kind of.
Outside of music, what kind of hobbies do you have, if you have any?
It's funny because I've been trying to, like, this year has literally just been like, because I've got a son, he's 2.5, and obviously it's quite difficult to, between doing music and when I'm home, it's like, okay, I'm with my son, so obviously spending time with him is amazing, but I like being outdoors. Even though I live in rainy Manchester, I like trying as much as possible to be out in the woods, so I like going for a walk in the woods near my house, like, and I enjoy. I used to do a bit of sport, which basically before I started doing music, I wanted to. I was obsessed with athletics and running and basketball and swimming and all kinds of things like that. So being active for me is like really important. It's so hard because when I'm up and down the country all the time, it's hard to have that kind of place that's like, this is what I do day in, day out. But I love running. I used to do kickboxing, but I've not been able to do that since my little lad was born, because it's something you need to kind of keep up with.
Oh, okay. And I'm guessing he's a little terror, just running around the house.
But that was literally, I didn't do it for years. It was something that like I did for a while before my son was born, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I love sport. I love it's so bad. What I've been doing a lot of lately is just Netflix. It's so bad. But I love that. That for me is a treat.
Is that a hobby?
If I want to sit down, it is. If I want to sit down and watch something.
He actually sat back.
That's like such a nice moment for me when you get in just
throw on the Netflix. Tell our audience, our lovely Behind the Success audience, a little fact that nobody knows. Like something really interesting or funny or crazy story of your, obviously it's about you. Yeah. It's not about me.
I'm trying to think of something that's interesting, an interesting fact
Interesting,
about me.
Crazy, exciting, embarrassing. You seem quite cool, so I don't think anything embarrassing's happened.
Well, plenty of embarrassing things have happened.
That's what I was waiting for.
Okay, when I was...
Uh-oh.
So I've got 4 sisters, and
oh gosh.
They used to dare me to do things like, we lived opposite a shop, and they once dared me to dress up in their clothes with a bra
this was coming.
And I put like some oranges down and just go to the shop and just order some milk, and
see
there was lots of things like that. When I was little, basically, because I had so many sisters, I looked towards them for what the fashion was at the time. Yeah. So I'd go into school, we wore uniforms, but it was kind of the way that you wore it. Yeah. And my sisters, I used to wear these like little shorts when I was a little lad, and all the girls used to like roll their socks down. Yeah. I don't know if you can.
They want to show more leg.
No, but it was the way that they rolled it. It was like they'd literally roll it so you'd get this ring at the top. And I used to do that as well, and it took me a while to realise that
you're not supposed to do that. Yeah. No. To be fair. Yeah. It's not your fault. I used to put wigs on my brother.
Yeah, I think it's a normal thing.
Because he was the only boy in the house. Kind of dress him up.
Yeah.
He looked like me, so obviously I'm female. So when you put the wig on him, we look like twins.
It may have happened a couple of times in my later life as well. But
Wait,
with the lads,
pause.
Just get put a skirt on. Go and get a kebab.
JP, that is not okay. That
It's
is
been a while.
not okay. Now you're gigging everywhere. You can't be putting on skirts.
Yeah. I've not got the legs for it. I really haven't.
Fine. We'll just leave it there. Okay, so for those who don't know and probably don't know your story, they're probably thinking, well, JB kind of just came from nowhere, and well, you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
You've had a process of life before getting signed. So what kind of advice would you give to people who are trying to start out, that are thinking that, oh, all these people are just coming from nowhere? Like, what type of advice would you give to people trying to get into the industry, or even just get into somewhere?
Yeah. I mean, the main thing for me, the biggest lesson that I've been able to learn is when I started to look at, I mean, first of all, it isn't for the faint-hearted. If you, it really isn't. Like, I know you hear these stories of people just all of a sudden. It's taken me a long time to get this opportunity.
Yeah.
I really still feel like it's the beginning of something. There's a lot more ahead of me.
Yeah.
But the main thing really that I could say is for people to really focus on the qualities that they have, and just to stick with that, and not to be swayed by everything else that's going on around them. Like
Definitely.
every single gig, even like tonight I'm going on last, and there's been people on with full bands and all this, that and the other, and amazing artists and amazing musicians, and I'm going at the end of the night with just a guitar and me, and sometimes it's easy to be like, oh no, I need to be as big as that, or as, and actually the more I do this, the more I learn to settle and be like, you know what, I've got my story, just like anybody else has got their story, and everything that they've been through up until this point, or everything that they embark on, all of those things make us who we are. Definitely. And without sounding completely cheesy, that's kind of what I carry with me. And actually the things that have knocked me back have actually given me more to think about in those moments. Those moments of how many times I've been knocked down and got back up. And actually now I'm stood here and I'm carrying all of that with me, because whether you fall, I think the victory is the getting back up.
Of course, definitely.
So for me, that would be one of the things, to stick with what you do, or search for that, and just stand on it. And
that's good advice, because some people lose themselves completely. But I'd like to say thank you very much, JP.
Oh, thank you.
I've had so much fun with you. We're going to play a little game now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to play a little game. So this is our 10 in 10, where I ask JP 10 questions and he has 10 seconds to answer each question. 10 seconds each to answer each question. I'm sure that makes sense. You'll get it. So we're going to do that. What are your top 3 pet peeves?
I'll give you one, and it doesn't happen anymore, but when I used to work in a bar, it's going to be more than 10 seconds, I'm sorry. When I used to work in a bar, when people would come to the bar and you would say to them, hi, how are you doing? And they would say, pint of Guinness, please.
Favourite movie genre?
I love Forrest Gump.
That's not
that
a genre.
kind of genre.
That kind of genre.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's your biggest inspiration?
Gosh. My dad.
Which artist have you met and not liked?
I've not. What, like?
Just not liked.
I've never really met anyone big that I've not liked. I'm trying to think if I've met just in general.
No. Okay.
I've been lucky.
Moving on. 3 most important people in your life. Come on, this is.
Well, obviously my son.
Yes.
I can't just say 3.
This is family. Oh, okay.
I can't do that. It's horrible.
If you wasn't doing music, what would you be doing?
I'd like to think that I would have gone down the route of like a craftsman, a carpenter, or something like that. That'd be my dream job.
Okay.
Other than this.
Which artist would you like to collaborate with, dead or alive?
The one that I always keep saying is Jan Tiersen.
Okay.
Yeah.
What has been your favourite gig in the past 12 months?
The first one that I did in New York because it was really unexpectedly amazing.
Okay. Your favourite meal?
Favourite meal? I love Thai food, green curry.
Green curry.
Yeah.
Top 3 favourite songs of all time?
Oh, what? 10 seconds. Oh, no.
5, 4, name 1, 2. Oh, JP!
It's just, it changes every day.
I'm tired of you. We're not doing this ever again.
Please don't.
Well, that's been the interview.
Thank you.
He's been JP. I've been Ms Gany, and you can follow me at Ms Gany V2 on Twitter. Where can we find you, JP?
JP Cooper Music.
JP Cooper Music. Just JP Cooper Music.
On Twitter or anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
JP, I like that. Keep it consistent.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. This has been Behind the Success, and I've been with JP Cooper, and that's it, guys. See you next time. Bye.